The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself, Carlos?
Good, good. So today we don't have guests, so we're gonna have a chance to pick up some old news maybe, and some good news, because today it's a special day. All the eyes are turned into 100 Pennsylvania Ave in Washington.
Yep, exactly.
And
yeah,
and what's happening, John?
Well, it's a change in the guards, I guess is what you want to say.
You didn't got the ticket. You didn't got the ticket to go see the museum.
Yeah, well, we'll see today, because there's a bunch of executive orders that are going to be signed. What's kind of ironic is one of the executive orders they're talking about is to stop building the border fence on the Mexican border.
Yes.
So we're going to sign an executive order for that, but basically we have fences all around DC and all around the politicians. So I find that kind of interesting.
Well, we should not even start, because that border, that cannot be complete. It's plenty of areas that you cannot border up. So pretty much what we're doing is spending money to put down an old fence and putting an old fence up, a new fence up. Yeah. That's pretty much what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, we have a pandemic, so we can't be having thousands of people walking over our border during a pandemic. I believe one of the executive orders is going to stop the order to not let people in from certain countries that they thought were dangerous. So if that's going to be the case, that we're going to stop that again, the pandemic. I think we need to look at when we slowed down the immigration. Basically, we had more jobs here for Americans. We had a higher pay for Americans. So I'm just hoping that not everything is thrown out. I mean, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Hopefully, they look at what was working and what was not working. And it was kind of interesting. The other day, they had a confirmation for the Secretary of State. And I thought was really interesting is that he agreed with a lot of the policies, a lot of the peace treaties that have come into play under the past administration. So hopefully they'll move forward with that and not change everything because of who is the one, who the person was that enacted it. So,
well, those executive orders usually changes when the president changes parties.
Yeah, well,
always happen. Always happen. You have a different party.
Yeah,
that's it. It comes first day. Every president does when it's from a different party that take power.
And I agree. They want to have their policies there, but if the policy is working, I don't see any reason to get rid of it. And we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The stop from the immigration coming over the border, I really don't think that's a work of a fence, that it's not even up yet. I think a lot of things got to play to slow down that. One of them is to arrest the people and put people away, for a long time. So people actually thought about twice coming over and getting caught and being in jail for 3 months before they got released back to their country. Yeah. So if you tell me that's the case, yes, I will agree. If you're going to tell me there was the wall that stopped it, I will disagree with that, because it's no way.
The solution. It's not the whole solution, Colin.
No, I think it was.
Solution.
No, I think what made him do that was because it was part of a campaign promise. That's what that was. was a campaign promise that he want make sure that he gonna crash the box there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, campaign done.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What's gonna work? What's gonna work? No, did Mexico pay for it? Until now, I don't think that $1 went to the wall from Mexico.
No, but if you look at it, we've had Mexican troops on our border stopping people coming in here. We've had probably 10 or 15,000 people.
Was a policy again, it's a policy that he put, that Mexican worked with us and putting some police there that never had it before. But independent of the wall is just a symbol that did nothing. We just spent billions of dollars.
Well, would you leave your house? Do you leave your locks unlocked at night?
No, you lock, but I'm not going to change. But
so why?
I'm not going to change a lock. Listen, I'm not going to change a lock just because it needs a little bit of oil and the key works.
Well, but if
you know what I'm saying?
But if you don't have a lock at all, would you not put a lock? That's the same thing. Why wouldn't we have
every door leads a lock? Okay, but now is the fence, to me, what the troops doing there, pushing people back and trying and arresting people, to me, works more than the stupid wall up.
Oh no, I agree with you. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of the billions of dollars that we spend on the wall, why didn't we put people there on the border, preventing people to come in?
Well, we have more people, and the Mexican government also has people there. And that makes the big difference. And Mexico's stopping them from coming into their country from Guatemala, El Salvador. So let's see.
I mean, that works better for me. That worked better. But the wall have nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Well, it was part of it, but I think with the whole thing with the virus now, thousands of people have lost their jobs here. We really can't let more people come in. Along with them, they say 1 in 5 people are testing positive that do come in. We can't do that here. Basically you're locking down our own citizens here. You can't let people in that have it. It just doesn't make any sense. But time will tell. We got to give everybody a chance. When everybody gets in, you got to give everybody a chance to, to prove themselves. So we'll see.
But the man, it's on for an hour. It's already people, saying, "No, wait for the next 4 years of a shit show." Well, guess what? We've been on diarrhea for 4 years, and we're here. We survived.
Well, Carlos, day one in 2017, day one, the New York Times put on their front page, now we have to impeach him. So there's been so much rhetoric back and forth between these two groups that we'll see. I'm interested to see if the media is going to treat this current president the way they treated the last administration. I'm interested to see how they are, whether they're screaming at the press secretary. There's actually a press secretary meeting tonight at 7:00. Let's see how the media reacts to that. There's going to be a honeymoon period, but if they act the same way they did under the last administration, then I'm going to go, hey, what's fair is fair. But if they're going to be asking him what kind of ice cream, what flavor ice cream he gets, then then we know. So
well, one thing for sure that the media is going to relax about, it's being called fake news. And no, I'm not going to answer your question because you are from fake news. I don't think that's going to happen again in any of his.
Well, we're not going to they're not going to be as many press conferences. So there's going to be no need to say you're fake news if you don't have a lot of press conferences. So we'll see.
Well, out of all the press conferences, we had seen that. Every single one, we have seen that. So, I hope that I will not see it in any.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. But if you notice, we'll end on that. I'm hoping for the best. I hear a lot of rhetoric out there, like you said. I hear some politicians saying anybody that supported this administration needs to go into re-education or reprogramming camps, or they need to be reprogrammed. So if they kind of will let that rhetoric go down, then people will probably be a little bit better. But I don't think I've ever remembered in in history that when some administration is left, that people feel we have all these people, 71 million people supported this person. How do we reprogram them?
Mhm.
You know, this is not China or Russia. This is the
Yeah.
USA. So
Yeah.
hopefully all this will kind of go away. All this rhetoric will go away and it'll be back to normal. I'm hoping.
Well, but it's people out there trying to do what Russia looks like, or any other other countries. If we take a look what happened on the 6th, that's what that people want. That people want us to be like those countries, and I don't think this will ever happen in here.
Well, China and Russia would never let what happened on the 6th of January happen in their country. We know that from history. So, you know, I was looking at it like, you know, do we want to be like those countries? I mean, we see what's happening in China. There's a genocide going on there with the minority there, the Muslim minority. They're putting them into prison camps and they're harvesting their organs. We see
Mhm.
that going on. So, I mean, if that's what people want in this country, when the government gives you
I
more,
don't think will ever happen. And for those that believe that it's a third party coming, I don't think that they're going to have enough power to do it.
well, if this, why not have more choices? Why not have more choices? You know,
I agreed with more choices, and believe me, I come from a country that have 14 parties,
yeah,
but and they all have representatives on the House, but um, but not that kind of a party, because that kind of a party, that's exactly what we're talking about happening in other countries.
what kind of party?
The third party, the way they run on the 6th, they want that party. That's the party they want to create. It's the party that can, if we don't agree with this, we're going to bring our guns and we're going to, do whatever we want.
There were no guns. Well, I don't know. I mean, Carlos, you have 71 million people that voted for the past administration, and there were probably 1,000 dummies that did that, or not even that. Probably 100 to 200 dummies that did that. And you know, one of them with the Shamu ears that you see on all over things. The guy was an actor, an unemployed actor from Arizona.
Well,
So
since that you're talking about him, let me tell
yeah,
you this,
yes,
because the other day I was thinking about
yeah,
it's pictures of him on the parades for Black Lives Matter.
okay,
It's pictures of him doing those parades. Okay. Now he went to the Capitol. You know what I was thinking? You remember
yeah,
those that go to every party from people running
yeah.
for
I know.
office in Fall River?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
buffet's good, the food is good. So I don't care who is running. As long as he's gonna give me free food, I'm there.
yeah,
So that's who I identify him. As long as people can see him and can see his costume,
yeah,
I'm in. I don't care what they're fighting for.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
want to be there.
yeah. Exactly.
And that's who I thought that the other day driving and hearing that it's pictures out there from Black Lives Matter that he was there. So guess what? It's Black Lives Matter supporters that invited the Capitol and all of that. It's which I don't believe.
Yeah.
That guy, I do believe that he just want to show off.
Yeah.
He wants a picture on the front of the paper.
Yeah.
And he shows up into all these parades.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
people in Fall River shows up for every free event for people running for office,
Yeah.
just for the free food.
Exactly.
So I have to take that guy aside from the others, because this time cost him a lot.
Oh yeah, no, he might go to jail.
And he wishes that he have not joined this kind of demonstration.
I'm sure he doesn't. I'm
But
sure he doesn't.
since when you talk about him,
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, that's the guy from the free pictures.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're right. It's I mean, it's and he's got to have a certain diet in jail. I mean, that's bizarre. He can only eat organic food. So yeah, the guy's a character for sure. And you had, some other people that were characters as well. So,
Well,
you know,
and you know something? Welcome to America. Because if it was
exactly.
another country,
Yep.
I don't care what you eat. You're going to
Yeah.
eat what everybody eats.
Exactly.
But we are
Exactly.
so good on this country that even when you commit a crime, we still going to take care of you.
Exactly. Exactly. So see, there's something we can agree on.
God bless America.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you still don't have the Portuguese passport, so you can't escape.
I know, huh? I know.
Oh boy. So you
So
probably go
go ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's fine. Go ahead.
So did you see the council meeting last night?
I watch it in and off. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anything in particular that
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like fine. I'm like you. I'm watching it. I'm in and out watching it. It appeared like finance lasted for a longer than normal time period. Sorry, my dog's here trying to sit on me.
It's okay. Mine's still talking outside. I closed the door.
Yeah.
So he's mad.
Yeah.
He's mad at me.
So, yeah, it seemed like it lasted longer than normal. Then they started talking about the subdivision information because I guess Councilor Bo and Councilor Dion, and thank you for letting me know, had some kind of, they had a hearing at like 2:00 yesterday. So they were talking about, basically what came out of that, and there was some back and forth with it. So hopefully something will become of it. But like I've told you before, privately, and now it's not privately, is that basically I'll turn that meeting on. If I turn that meeting on 11 years ago and then put it on now, it's like a soap opera. We're talking about the same stuff. And, how I can probably, and you can attest to it with me, is when we had Council Dion on, we're talking about trash. We're talking about trash. What, how many years has it been, Carlos? 5 years, 10 years? How long has this been going on? And we haven't solved it yet. So, hey, let's hope for the best. But, I become a little jaded, I guess, as as my time.
Well, and I was talking to a city council this week, and I told her that it's frustrating because this COVID-19 rules came really to benefit this side, because now we cannot even go to and attend these meetings.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to write a letter and then be laughed when it's watching a meeting that here comes this guy complaining with a letter. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So it's frustrated because this and again the 75 units that's going to be built on that piece of land behind the Henry Lord. People on Facebook asking for support. I want to support because, I'm going through the same thing on my neighborhood, and you went through the same thing on your neighborhood, and our voices are never heard. Our voices, and forget about falling up the chamber, because doesn't matter. That board already made up their mind. They already somehow agreed to go forward, and well, it's nothing we can do. It's legal to do, but doesn't matter. I mean, doesn't matter. How can you say? I mean, even if it's legal for me to do, I cannot agree to putting 75 houses, okay, in top of each other, and kill all the animals and bringing more more traffic to that area and all of that. On my conscience, I cannot approve this, even if it's legal for me to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you have to do. Just because it's legal for you to do it, that doesn't mean that you have to do it.
Yeah. Well, I know what you're trying to say about legal. It's not even, if they approve it, it's legal. You can do it. However, as a city, we need to realize that, are we going to have problems with the water drainage there? Is that going to drain into other people's yards? And I know, somebody had mentioned that people were filling in their yards behind that Frederick Street. They're having issues there. I think I heard that somewhere. Well, then this is why that shouldn't have been done in the first place, because you can't control what people do afterward when they buy the houses.
John, how many times those representing the developers go in front of them and say, "Well, guess what? We if we want to do a 6 apartment building, we didn't have to be here. We could just build a 6 apartment building and don't have to be here." But my client, it's so nice. He wants to clean up the neighborhoods. He wants to put trees on the neighborhood. But instead of 6 apartments, he wants 6 houses. You know what I'm saying? It's like, then if you can do the 6 apartments, what the hell are you doing in here?
Yeah. Well, I hear you, and I do hear that a lot, and that's very frustrating too. It's like kind of like we have you. You know what I mean? Whether you like it or not. Is basically what I get out of it,
exactly. And the fact that even before that, we didn't trust the boards. We know how the boards were going to vote for. Some places already had people starting on the driveways even before they got the okay for the building because they know they're going to pass. Okay. Yeah. So, to open a driveway, it comes on the city council before the actual house gets the permit to start building. But on top of all of that, it's frustrating that now we cannot even attend the meetings.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I don't know how these people are going to do it.
Yeah. Well, there'll be more complaints, and maybe we'll get new people in. I don't know. Maybe we'll get new councils in. We'll see, right?
It's just frustrating. Another quick thing that I want to mention on our show is about, you probably got it, it's all over Facebook, is the accusations for the superintendent of schools.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Well, that was brought up at the council meeting last night.
Mm-hmm.
That was brought up, and I guess they didn't want to speak about it because I guess there's litigation or something to that effect. But yeah, that was brought up there. I don't really know a lot that's going on, but according to one of the counselors, they said that there were a whole bunch of lawsuits, a lot of people suing the city, and I didn't get whether it was, the school department employees, but I kind of did get that, if there are issues and we are being sued, like the school department's being sued, you might as well just say it's the city of Fall River. And, people need to be held accountable if there are issues, if they're doing things they shouldn't be doing, and then we get people suing us. So folks need to be held accountable. And I kind of understand why the city councils, some of them were upset because they didn't know what was going on. They had no input. But again, we'll be the ones that are getting sued.
I told this particular city council, I said, I understand that as a city council, you can do nothing.
Yeah.
But as a citizen, as a taxpayer, as a Fall River resident, you can write a letter to them on your name.
Yeah.
Besides you being a city council, you don't even have to mention that you're a city council.
Yeah. Well,
they probably, but you need to tell these people that they have to work for us, for the city, because guess what? Last year we had to go into the rain funds to fund $3 million for the school department.
Yeah.
So we don't even know what's going to happen in July when the new budget gets approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, that it's going to be approved, and I believe that a part of the meeting that I caught up yesterday, Allison was saying, well, the money is going to come from the school department, the schools. It's going to come. Well, nothing's coming from the school department. It's coming from us.
Yeah.
We are the ones putting the money into the school department.
Yeah.
School department, it's not making their own money.
Yeah.
It's us putting the money there.
Yeah. Well, they do get some state funding, but I hear what you're saying. I mean,
you think the state's going to fund to pay lawsuits?
No, absolutely not. But the thing is, I think that I think it needs to be taken a little bit more seriously, because I can tell you this year, my taxes went up $800. That's a lot of money. That's $80, roughly $70 a month extra. And then once the school comes into place, which I think they were talking about yesterday, the school's
2023.
200 million or whatever it was, and the fields 7 million. And there was they were talking about like maybe probably another $10 million for the athletic fields. Like, where is this money going to come from? Well, we haven't even got the bill for the high school yet. And if you add another 10 million on, I mean, we can't be in debt this much. We don't know what's going to happen with the economy in the next year or two. And when the feds and the state stop sending us money, we're going to be in for a world of hurt. And if people aren't working the way they were, who did they expect is going to pay these property taxes? So,
and doesn't matter if you're going to hide the rents, because people cannot afford to pay.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm a homeowner. I have 3 acres. Well, for me to pay, I'm going to have to raise the prices. Well, if I have a person there paying me $800 and struggling to pay me $800, he's not going to paying $1,000 or $1,100 a month. It's not going to resolve my problem. It's just going to hurt me more.
Yeah. Well,
as a homeowner.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I mean, people that own these multis, if you figure probably the average tax bill now for a multi, depending on price, but I'll say average is probably $4,500 in taxes a year, probably another $2,000 for insurance, and then probably another $1,000 for water. And I'm being really conservative.
Yeah.
So what's that? That's like $7,000 a year. That's not even talking about the person's mortgage, the maintenance to keep up that property. So that's probably almost one rent, if not, people throwing a little bit more. But it's, there's only so much money you're going to get. I agree with you on rent. You can't have, rents are not going to be sustainable at $1,600 around here. The people aren't going to be able to pay it. And if people are getting laid off, which a lot of companies we know are not going to come back after this COVID thing. So, I mean, we've got some decisions and we need to start making them now.
And again, if those numbers don't make sense on paper for me as a homeowner to pay my tax, how come works as the politicians agreeing on numbers on the paper? I don't understand. You will do that with your financial? No. Well, so why are you doing there when you work with our financials?
Yeah. Well, let's hope. I mean, I don't, as far as the lawsuits, I mean, if there's someone that needs to be held accountable, hopefully they hold the people accountable.
Well, I'm telling you the truth. I had this guy had some nails on his coffin, and I think he put the lock on the coffin when he told us when we were looking for money to build the Durfee. If you don't like this, if you don't want to vote for this, you should move to Russia. I think that, for me, did the sealing and put the lock on the coffin.
Yeah, well, I agree. It's insulting for sure, so, but.
Well, and we done 30 minutes.
Made it through another week, right?
We made it through another week with no fever.
Yeah, there we go.
So, John, thank you again.
Yep,
enjoy your week, and I'll see you Wednesday.
Yep, you too. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.